Welcome. Welcome, everyone. It's Angelo Robles and going live tonight, a Monday night, at somewhat of an unusual time for me at 6:15 Eastern, but it is what it is. And many of you will watch this in recording anyway. But I did hint this out a couple of days ago because you all been asking for it. And I'm going to call tonight the family office that never sleeps. Could it be 168 hours a week? That would kind of be never sleeping. So many of you have been asking me about AI has to do more than chat. It has to actually do things in the real world, and it can. And I'm going to showcase to you tonight AI agents. I'm going to do a relatively deep dive. So you've been calling for it. Here it is. And without further ado, shall we begin? So, AI agents for family offices. Really simple. One of my mottos: do more, better, and faster, period. Going from just simply chat, which is powerful, like PhD level chat, but to actually do things. So, this is kind of the new speed. While most of the world slept, kind of a new kind of family office is beginning to go to work, but not classically 9 to 5 or with lights on, no assistants typing, no screens glowing, just code, lines of code, quietly, could be 24/7, evaluating risk, reallocating cash if that's what you want, scheduling calls, summarizing overnight markets, and sending often polished memos to inboxes that haven't yet even stirred. The family office belongs to families who learned how to do effectively more with less, better and faster with zero friction. They don't compete on staff sizes because some family offices can't, but they do compete on velocity, decisions per minute, a new metric, iterations per day, insights per dollar of cost. This is the new arms race in the world of financial services and the single and multi-family office community. It's not always about who hires the smartest person. It's about who builds the smartest system. Because the next era, which is here now, the next era of the family office isn't as much human heavy, but it is going to be agent dense. So why does this matter? Every traditional 99, probably 99.9% family office runs on human latency, meetings, memos, approvals. Every delay potentially bleeds opportunity. Now imagine replacing that lag with a continuous motion. Imagine your family office, your enterprise, your business. So this is deeper than just the family office, functioning more like a Formula One pit crew, precise, synced, autonomous. And that really is what AI agents deliver. Kind of digital teammates that never sleep, never forget, and hopefully never lose context. They don't replace your people. We're not there yet, but they absolutely amplify them. They free your analysts to think strategically instead of doing things like formulating slides. They absolutely give your COO kind of superhuman operational vision. I am telling you, they can let a $500 million family office perform with the precision of an awesome $10 billion allocator. That assumes that would be awesome. I'm being generous. You can still do it. That's kind of what doing more with less, better, and faster really means. It's not a cliche efficiency, but really compounding velocity. So, myself, I saw this work inside a multi-generational European family office, and sometimes, even to me, it feels like science fiction. Imagine AI agents, we're going to go pretty deep. You're going to learn. Monitoring 120 data feeds, ran nightly stress tests, booked travel, reconciled documents, even drafted agenda packets. At 7 a.m., the principal's tablet lit up with one line: portfolio de-risked, 1.2% overnight, tax memo attached, meeting moved, all good. That's not the future, everyone. That's not 5 years. That's like happening right now. And it's why we're here to unpack how it works, what to build first, how to protect your intellectual capital from while you automate advantages. Because family offices who master these AI and AI agents now will be running on a different clock, one that never stops. And these advantages absolutely could compound. So, like I stated, going from chat to action. Most people, even in the family office world, even in finance, they still think that AI equals ChatGPT. You ask a question, often you don't phrase it right, your prompt engineering is bad, but you get kind of an answer. That's convenience. That is absolutely not transformation. It's like hiring someone who may talk brilliantly in meetings, but like never gets anything done. AI agents are different. They don't just talk, they act. An AI agent, really at the heart, is a piece of software built with, well, kind of multiple superpowers. Awareness, it watches, depending on how you set it up, data streams, emails, calendars, prices, filings, market news, etc. Reasoning, it interprets what it sees and decide what matters. Action, it does something about it. Now we're really talking. Automatically or pending your approval. All good. You give it a job description, rules, parameters, boundaries, and it performs that, in theory, 24/7. Think of it as a really, really smart digital intern that never sleeps, a self driving workflow that improves every time it runs. And it can be simple. Start off in calendar and email functions, maybe monitoring flights and rebooking if delayed, or sophisticated. Analyze 40,000 earning reports, flag anomalies, draft a summary, alert the investment team. AI agents can mean many things. So there is kind of a technology under the hood. Now we could go really deep here. I'm going to keep it relatively the conversation going without getting too bogged down. At its core, an agent connects effectively three things like brains, the large language models like Llama 3 and Mistral, if you want to be open source and sovereign and private, OpenAI's ChatGPT series, and it can understand and reason. Tools, APIs, spreadsheets, data feeds, or apps, even apps like PitchBook, Adapar, Outlook, and Slack that let you act in the real world. Memory, now we're getting a little technical. A vector database like Quadrant or Weaviate, where it stores what it learned. Frameworks like LangGraph, Crew AI, AutoGen that help you design the agents, deciding what they watch, what triggers them, and how they interact. Now, platforms that even 3 months ago were kind of complex, N8N, they had gotten so much easier. They kind of provide the plumbing. They connect the data and make sure each step happens in sequence, safely and fast. When you stack these together, you get like more than software. It doesn't just answer questions, it effectively runs, augments parts of, if not effectively, your business. Like you could even do kind of a digital chief of staff. Imagine a digital chief of staff called Lindy, one of the platforms. A real project by Lindy.ai. You say, Lindy, find a tax attorney who's filed Luxembourg private trust structures. Set up a call next week, draft an intro email. Lindy could search, check calendars, writes the message, confirms the time, logs it into your CRM. That's not just AI chatting. That is AI doing, and it's here now. The same principle. can power your research, your reporting, your travel logistics, your compliance, even your trading. Agents are the invisible staffers of, well, I was going to say the future, but the future is kind of now. Tireless, accurate, and fast. So why is this different? Automation, to some degree, has existed for decades, but old automation is rigid. If this, then that. Agents are far more flexible. They reason like a person. They can look at messy, unstructured inputs, an email, a PDF, a PowerPoint, a voice memo, and still act correctly. Almost a little scary. They understand language, not just code, and that's important. They can coordinate with each other. That's a powerful aspect of AI agents. One agent finds, another analyzes, another executes. And that's what makes them powerful. They can link discovery, analysis, and action in one loop. And that's kind of where the edge lives. So imagine creating kind of 6 core agents. Let's meet a practical lineup. How about that? Who's ever spoken to you about this before? A practical lineup for a modern family office. You ready? The Scout. Look at it as the opportunity radar. Monitors, depending on what you want, what you set up. Job postings, patents, traffic, reviews, merchant data, hiring burst. When signals align, the Scout flags funding window likely in 90 days. You reach out first, no auction premium. Imagine the Sage, the research engine, devours filings, transcripts, and news, builds decision briefs overnight that would take analysts days, possibly weeks, depending on their schedule and their capability. Now imagine a third one, the Guardian, the risk sentry, monitors rates, credit spreads, and geopolitical stress. By day, it advises. By night, it executes small hedges within maybe limits that you set up. A fourth, concierge, the operations orchestrator. Calendars, important. Meetings could effectively be workflows, vendors traveling, building access documents. It gives your staff actually back multiple hours a week, a more higher quality time. Another one, a compass. Imagine a tax and regulatory scout. Watches global tax and legal changes, models impact, and drops memos for advisors. And maybe lastly, the executor, the hands. Your programmable trader, if that's what you want. Running on, you want to get a little deep? Stablecoin rails with tight caps, whitelisted venues, automatic settlement. Together, these can become, like the 6 become a living 24/7, 168-hour operating system. Now you maybe better understand how an SFO or a multifamily office could do way more, better and faster, and likely outcompete even much, much larger organizations. A little bit of a scene from the future, and let's go to one of my backyards, great state of Connecticut. Imagine a family office that would take 2 weeks to find and analyze deals, now could act in, 47 minutes. A West Coast family cuts its investment committee meetings from 3 hours to under 1. A hedging agent caught creeping credit stress during a flight delay. The hedge it triggered, who knows, maybe saved 10,000, maybe millions of dollars. Tiny operational edges that never get tired, that compound over time. Massive compounding advantage. Now, out of the box, is it out of risk? Convenience can cost you your sovereignty. When you paste investment memos or tax models into consumer AI, where you could bleed your IP, even though the programs are impressive, I still use them too for some things. Claude, although Claude's 4.5 Sonnet, ooh, that could do incredible financial modeling. But I get off track. ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, Perplexity, Grok, kind of your proprietary data, you could argue, kind of leaves the building. Even enterprise versions could still log your metadata. And we're getting a little in the weeds here. Out of the box family office SaaS, Adapars, Juniper Square, Canoe, Dynamo, Carta, etc. Excellent for operations and research. But your competitors, this is an important point, your competitors could buy the same tools. That shared infrastructure is that shared insights. Keep your edge private. Run open source models on your hardware, never touching the cloud for some of the things you do. Llama 3, Mistral, etc. There's others. Serve them with VLLM or Olama. Store vectors in Quadrant or Weaviate. Orchestrate, like I mentioned earlier with LangGraph or Crew AI. Protect the secrets with Vault. That's sovereignty, and nowhere near as hard as you're going to think it is. Actually, the last 3 months, it's gotten so much easier. Now, that's a new definition of security. We're actually heading somewhat to the home stretch. I do get questions at my masterclass one-on-ones or from my members. Hey, these China systems out of the box appear pretty good. They kind of are, and very cheap. But be clear-eyed about China-linked AI. Chinese law obligates domestic tech firms in China to share data with the state. So that can mean models like DeepSeek and others, Alibaba Qwen, iFlyTech, ByteDance AI, probably should never touch your proprietary data. They may be fine for public summaries or translations, but they may be dangerous for strategies, portfolios, or family governance files. I would stick more with US, possibly EU, open sourced models for that never touch the cloud, that run on your system. If you use a vendor, insist on data residency, zero retention, model isolation, and audit rights, and still keep your crown jewel logic inside your four walls. Maybe getting a little off track here, and I have mentioned this multiple times in the last week, a lot of you are missing out on what I may call the 24-hour dollar. Your AI agents run all day. Maybe your money should too. Stablecoins. Look at what's happening now with Circle. They're the digital dollars that move in seconds, settle instantly, and effectively cost pennies. Executor, as one example, can manage a make it small, liquid sleeve. I don't know, maybe even 1%, 3% of certain assets through institutional custodial, maybe a Coinbase Prime, Anchorage Digital, Fireblocks, or Copper. You predefine per trade caps, daily limits, venues, and risk parameters. Every move logs effectively automatically. A morning brief hits your inbox before breakfast. Same strategy, same people, just faster plumbing, and over time, with compounding, especially a different outcome. So what is it like in terms of building these systems? In theory, it may literally be days. In reality, there's inertia, and okay, maybe it's a month, 2 or 3. Understand AI agents. Pick one agent. Well, maybe a couple. I mentioned Scout for alpha, Sage for speed, a concierge version for efficiency. Why don't you run a sprint? Write an AI agent charter, a mission, a scope, KPIs, rollback plan. Then maybe month 2, you're feeling more comfortable. Tighten the loops, cut the noise. Add human in the loop oversight. Integrate with your core stack. Then add a second agent, Scout feeding Sage or concierge feeding Sage. Maybe month 3 to 4, go more sovereign. Stand up Llama 3 or Mistral on your VLLM. Connect your private documents. Secure everything behind zero trust architecture. Deploy executor, as I noted, with small limits, small. Add guardian, encompass, test your kill switch, sure, and rehearse rollback. Kind of by 100, 120 days, you built a real mesh there. Scout finds, Sage reads, Guardian checks, Executor acts, Compass optimizes, Concierge communicates. Like, you're not just chatting with AI, you built a machine that learns while you sleep, augments your team, frees them up for strategy thinking, and allows collectively your team to do way more, often with less, better, and faster. Now, yeah, some of you are going to ask about team capabilities, cost, ROI. These are difficult to maybe perfectly convey. Like maybe you need kind of three key people: the owner, the decision maker who removes and has the power to remove the friction, a translator, fluid in both operations and AI, and a builder, internal or external, who kind of ships and secures. What's a year one cost? It depends. I've done it very cost effectively, and you may as well. But a larger scale, institutional level, single or multifamily office, that might be early six figures. But avoiding and de risking and gaining opportunity and efficiency, how much is that worth? And again, that mindset, that knowledge, that capability is going to compound within your team. There is a cultural ROI on speed, on clarity, on morale, and it is immeasurable. Now, are there areas around risk, ethics, and control? Minimize data exposure, segment investment data from personal data, of course, log every action with an explanation, whitelist venues, enforce KYC where applicable, run quarterly red team drills for prompt injection. Sure, those are all valuable. Keep a so-called real kill switch, tested, not theoretical. Remember, agents can scale your culture. Make sure your culture is kind of worth scaling. I go back to something that I've been saying because I think it's a little bit missed. Not just mindset, but the compounding advantage. The promise of AI isn't really replacing people, it's removing drag, turning every minute of waiting into a minute of compounding. The family office is still debating this. We'll spend the rest of this year and next year kind of reading white papers. The offices who act now could gain an edge for the remainder of this year and certainly into the first quarter of 2026. I don't know. By late 26 or 27, depending on the capability of your people, mindsets, activity, and compounding, maybe that gap won't close. Maybe it widens into a canyon. Because again, your family office could do more, often with less, definitely better and faster. Stop playing defense with wealth and legacy and start playing offense with your time and your team's capabilities. Stop reacting to markets and maybe start more, if I could be bold, predicting them. And stop managing bureaucracy and paperwork. Like, start designing, maintaining, amplifying dynasties. That's the real luxury is not necessarily yachts or jets, although sounds pretty good to me. It really is autonomy. Autonomy over time, data, and may I be bold and say destiny. Like, learn about AI. Work with an agent, meaning an AI agent. You could take that different ways. Write a charter, fund a sprint, open your 24-hour dollar sleeve that I described a little while ago. Run your first quote unquote kill switch drill. Prove that your family office can run at the speed of thought. And with the right hand holding, I know they could. The future will not reward the biggest. It really will reward who could be the most effective, efficient, and the fastest. The most sovereign, maybe, is a way to put it. The ones who can truly do more with less, better and faster, and kind of effectively forever. Forever. Like, it really is that important. So I see very little in the family office world that went beyond the basics of AI in some platforms and goes a little bit more into, again, from chatting to actually doing. And that is going to be the domain of AI agents. Eventually, to some degree, robotics, depending on the industry, that's inevitably coming. That will be a massive, utterly massive industry, and one with tremendous investment opportunity moving forward. But I wanted to have somewhat of a deeper focus to a degree. I could easily make this 2 hours. Actually, AI agents will be an integral, maybe foundational part for me this week. My last one of the year, AI Family Office Masterclass. We now have 9 incredible people, families, 2 rising generation members under 25, 26. And my instructors are incredible. And we're going to go so deep on AI agents and actually show building. Again, if I could do it, you could do it. I promise you. There simply is processes and steps to follow. It gets easier all the time. I mentioned N8N earlier. This summer, that was a little complicated. I just talk it through what I want now. A little bit like bolt.No and Lovable as vibe coding, it's gotten so much easier. Again, I created an app that I popped up in the App Store just to get the experience. We are in incredible times. And yes, in some ways, they are a little scary. I know we often would like for things not to change. I completely feel you and understand that. But that feeling is not going to impact that. Change is marching forward. Look at these large companies beginning to not only not hire as many people and younger people, they're letting people go. AI and robotics is going to be devastating in some ways to many industries. May new industries evolve? Sure. And I want the family office world, all elements of it, to not just survive, to thrive. And that's absolutely possible. There's some incredibly talented people there and some young people that would love the opportunity of working in a family office that could bring more native capabilities around tech and AI. I gave an example last week of not even being a young tech engineer and the capability that they could bring to a single or multifamily office, helping to lead or initiate these kind of initiatives. Like, you have to be understanding this. You have to. And no, I think a lot of your current consultants are older. They're not fluid in it. They may have biases and they're stuck in the legacy of their engagement contractual relationship with you and don't have the experiences with their own capital and their own time doing it themselves. More so than just the basics of AI and AI battling each other for the best answer, all important, but understanding building, understanding AI agents, integration, security, safety, ethics, and putting that all together. Part of my network is the #1 attorney in the world for AI and AI ethics. Incredible entrepreneurs, AI integration engineers. It's all there now. And this is not going to roll back, everyone. This is steamrolling, growing like a snowball, going down a hill, getting bigger and faster all the time. This is the time. Isn't it the great time of year to get more fluid in this? To have some time, especially later in the year, to really dive in? Imagine you're going to come out in 2026. What an edge you're going to have. Not just as a entrepreneur, a wealth creator, an inheritor, a single family office executive, a multifamily office executive, like anyone, accountant, attorney, financial services. This is going to give you a massive edge. Go back to what I said earlier. There is no doubt going from chatting to doing things, you're going to do more, better, and faster, period. Like, not going to say you can't fail, but kind of hard to. And I want you to get that compounding edge now. Now. Now, for many of you, my AI Family Office Masterclass this Wednesday and Thursday. So if you're watching this after the fact, that would be November 5th and 6th. Unless you're in New York or can move really quick, you're probably going to miss it. Go to angelorobles.com or email me if by some chance it could work out and you wanted to, we'll get you in. I will do more AI Family Office Masterclasses, probably 2 of them in 2026. Now, some of you have reached out and basically said, could you come to our MFO, our company, our SFO, and custom relative to you being familiar with us or getting familiar with us and design a program over a day and a half, 2 days, 3 days, maybe the whole week, where you come and maybe digitally some of your dream team, but maybe in person. Sure, I'm going to be doing more of those kind of one-on-ones or me and a company. So I'm open-minded to that. Reach out. That will be custom pricing, obviously, but there's going to be privacy and advantages and just more customization, as I'm going to have a lot of questions pre that, learning about your family office or organization, so I could more tailor the concepts, the material, the outputs in the masterclass to be very, very targeted and focused on you. Now, yes, as I have discussed, I will have a Creating a Top 1% Family Office Masterclass next year. Sovereign risk and disaster preparedness. 2026 is going to be very, very busy. So this week is the last of my group and incredible families attending AI Family Office Masterclass, November 5th and 6th. I'm then off on a plane going to the Cayman Islands, leading and hosting a couple of sessions, geopolitics, macroeconomics, a little bit of AI. I look forward to that. Cayman Islands, here I come. I'm a guest of an organization called Uncorrelated. They do great work in alternative investments, and my insights on family offices and some of those topics I referenced, I very much look forward, if especially a member, but if any of you wanted to join me, especially as an investor, better let me know pretty quick. I will be hosting in Palm Beach, December 3rd and 4th, and then segueing to Art Basel that Friday and Saturday. So that's coming up effectively in about a month, a couple of weeks. I got a busy late January and 5 days of effectively soirees and programming and even combining master classes the week of March 23rd in Palm Beach. So, and then not too far after that, off to LA for about a week for the Milken and the things I do there. So again, lots of master classes, lots of content, lots of opportunities. All my books will be coming out, segueing into next year. My members already got access. There's that third book I'm holding on to, but in about a week, I'm going to release that called Billionaire Mastermind, kind of the psychology and wealth creation secrets of the super rich and my experiences with them around the world over 20 years and lessons that I learned and happy to share. And that's very valuable, especially for young entrepreneurs and the rising generation. So again, many of you could go to angelorobles.com, simply learn more. If you're not too late, jump into the masterclass or email me at angelo@angelorobles.com. Simply let me know. And you could all join. You could all go to angelorobles.com and join my private intelligence and strategy community, SFO continuity, as we march towards 100 members and have some of the most incredible families on earth and very exclusive, lots of incredible things happening. So I think by this stage, you all know where to go. So I will not be as active moving forward for about the next 2 weeks, these lives digitally, because I got the masterclass. I then come back. I'm going to play catch up. I'm off to the Cayman Islands. I got a debate and several things I'm doing there. I got to put a little finishing touches on one of the books and my Creating a Top 1% Family Office when I get back. So maybe I'll do something tomorrow. That'll be probably the last time for multiple days, maybe in the Cayman Islands. I know Raul Paul and others that I respect are going to be there. Maybe I'm able to do a quick on the spot, 1 question or 5-minute interview. So who knows? There might be something upcoming, not from my masterclass that's very discreet, but when I go to the Cayman Islands, and even when I come back, I'm going to be in New York a couple of days. So my big run here of about 2 weeks, practically every day with live content, will begin to slow down, heading a little closer into Thanksgiving here in the US. But that week, I'm actually going to be busy and have a lot of new content that I'm thinking about that I would like to roll out to some of you and share, and taking action upon a lot of things I'm working on, from operational and structural inside the family office community. It's an exciting time. Everyone, I'm Angelo Robles. Feel free to follow me across all socials. Reach out at angelorobles.com, and any of you could join, be a part of it, look into my website, learn more, and email at angelo@angelorobles.com. Everyone, be awesome. Have a great night. Let's go. Thank you.